Lightning McQueen. The star of the show isn't based on one single car, he's a mashup. Pixar wanted him to look like a modern NASCAR racer, but with personality. His overall shape borrows from the Chevy Corvette C6, mixed with NASCAR stock car proportions, and even some Dodge Viper cues in the nose and headlights. The number 95 and low-slung stance scream race ready, but his smooth curves gave him that approachable, toy-like look. He's basically a Corvette built for cartoons, fine-tuned to sell die-casts. And it worked. Doc Hudson. Doc is a 1951 Hudson Hornet, and this one's spot on. Pixar didn't change much. Back in the early 1950s, the Hornet was the car to beat in stock car racing, dominating NASCAR with its low center of gravity and step-down chassis design. The choice of the Hornet wasn't random. Doc literally represents the golden age of racing. His character is about wisdom, old-school respect, and teaching. Lightning that racing isn't just about speed, perfect casting. Sally Carrera. Sally is exactly what her name says, a 2002 Porsche 911 Carrera 996. Blue paint, whale-tail delete, and animated headlights that double as her eyes. Pixar kept her sleek but softened the lines so she wouldn't look too aggressive. In the movie, she's a small-town lawyer who traded city life for Radiator Springs, and choosing a Porsche was perfect symbolism. Classy, fast, but approachable. Also, fun fact, Pixar actually made a life-size Sally for charity in 2022, based on a 992 generation 911 painted in Sally blue. Tomater is a rusty, beaten-up 1951 International Harvester boom truck mixed with elements of a Chevy 3800 tow truck. His mismatched parts, different headlight sizes, crooked hood, missing panels, are deliberate. He's supposed to embody the charm of small-town America, full of quirks but dependable when you need him. Pixar even gave him a faded brown and turquoise paint job to scream Route 66 patina. He's not just a tow truck, he's every rusted workhorse you've ever seen on the side of a back road. Luigi and Guido. Luigi is a 1959 Fiat 500. Small, round, full of Italian personality. Guido, his sidekick, is a Isetta-inspired microcar forklift hybrid, though most closely resembling a 1950s Italian forklift Piaggio ape. Together, they're pure Italian car culture distilled, obsessed with Ferraris, tiny but passionate. Luigi's model choice fits his role as the goofy, lovable tire shop owner with dreams bigger than his engine. Ramone. Ramone is a 1959 Chevy Impala lowrider, dripping in West Coast custom culture. Candy paint, hydraulic suspension, pinstripes, everything screams Chicano lowrider scene. Pixar nailed his design, right down to his laid-back voice and constant color changes, which reflect real lowrider paint obsession. He's basically a rolling mural and a love letter to LA car culture. Sheriff. Sheriff is a 1949 Mercury police cruiser, and Pixar didn't have to exaggerate much to make him work. These cars were the backbone of small-town police fleets in post-war America. Big fenders, chrome bumpers, and that unmistakable siren on the roof. In Cars, Sheriff is exactly what Radiator Springs needed. Old school, dependable, and a little cranky about outsiders speeding through his town. His design says it all. He's not built for chases, but for presence. And that's what keeps Radiator Springs in line. Fillmore. Fillmore is a 1960s VW Type 2 bus, the ultimate symbol of hippie culture. From Woodstock to surf beaches, this van was the counterculture's ride of choice. Cheap, easy to fix, and endlessly customizable. Pixar nailed that vibe with Fillmore's rainbow paint, peace symbols, and spaced-out personality. He's not just a comic relief character, he embodies a whole cultural era. Even his role in the film selling organic fuel is a nod to the VW bus community's eco-conscious DIY spirit. You couldn't pick a better vehicle to play the town's conspiracy-loving, peace-preaching resident. Sarge is the opposite of Fillmore in every way. He's a Willys MB Jeep, the exact kind used by US troops in WW2. The flat fenders, no-frills design, and olive drab paint made it one of the most rugged vehicles ever built. In Radiator Springs, Sarge runs his surplus store, still shouting orders and running boot camp for little cars. He represents discipline, patriotism, and tradition, all tied to a vehicle that literally helped win a world war. Pixar leaned hard into that history, and it gave Sarge instant credibility as the town's grumpy drill sergeant. Flo is a retro-futuristic 1950s GM show car, inspired by the Buick LeSabre concept mixed with a bit of Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. Huge fins, wraparound windshield, long coupe profile. She represents the glory days of the American dream car, back when cars were rolling art. As the owner of the local diner, she's basically the spirit of 1950s Americana. Mack is a Mack Superliner, one of the most iconic American semi-trucks ever built. Pixar didn't need to reinvent him. They just leaned into the big rig culture. Chrome stacks, long hood, bright red paint, pure highway hero. He's Lightning's loyal transporter, always dependable even when exhausted, and his design plays up the everyman trucker spirit. For American audiences, Mack is instantly recognizable. He's the truck you see on every interstate, the backbone of freight transport. By making him Lightning's sidekick, Pixar grounded the film in real-world trucking culture, giving the flashy race cars a working-class contrast. Chick Hicks, the villain of the first movie, is basically a parody of 1980s, 1990s NASCAR stock cars. His body style is modeled after the 1987 Buick Regal Monte Carlo Aerocoupe that dominated NASCAR, with square lines and sponsor decals plastered everywhere. He represents the corporate, dirty side of racing, the guy who'll wreck you for a win. His green paint and mustache grill made him the perfect heel. The King, Strip Weathers. The King is a straight homage to Richard Petty's Plymouth Superbird, long nose cone, massive rear wing, sky blue STP livery. They even had Richard Petty voice him. This was one of the most dominant race cars in NASCAR history until it was literally banned for being too aerodynamic. Pixar's choice was perfect. The King is the respected veteran at the end of his career, and no other car could have symbolized that better. Cruz Ramirez, Cars 3, 2017. Cruz is a modern-day sports coupe prototype, blending elements of the 5th-gen Camaro, 4th-gen Corvette, and Toyota 86. She represents the next generation of racing, smaller, lighter, more efficient. She's Lightning's student turned protege, and her design reflects the transition between old-school racing and new-school precision. Jackson Storm, Cars 3, 2017. Jackson Storm is a pure next-gen NASCAR concept. Pixar invented his design, but it's clearly influenced by modern Chevy Camaro NASCAR bodies mixed with futuristic hypercar aerodynamics. Low stance, aggressive aero, and a digital dash. He's everything Lightning isn't. Cold, precise, data-driven. Storm's design was all about intimidation, the future overtaking the past. Now, if you want to see how game devs pull the opposite trick, taking real cars and locking them away from us, go watch Every Car Rockstar Blacklisted from Your Garage explained in detail. Because Pixar gave every car a personality, but Rockstar gave us a blacklist.